Hey guys, it's August 5th. You can see a sundog over there. Really warm here today. Let's start over here with the potato. You can see this one has diebacked already. I'm gonna cut it. Yeah, and I think the rest are gonna die back pretty soon. Gonna need to water this too. And you can kind of see a potato poking out on the right over there. So I'm gonna refill it with some more soil. The calla lily is doing fine. The rhubarb needs water, obviously. And here, tomato needs water too. But yeah, there's a lot of tomato that's ready for harvest. You can see all over the plants there's the bright red tomatoes. Down here too. And then the raspberry is growing pretty quickly. You can see it's getting a lot taller now. The stem is getting a lot thicker too. Let's come back over here and look at the hydrangea. You can see lots of new growth at the base, which is exactly what I wanted to do. Not sure if there's more on the back. And then this little hydrangea is doing fine. Flower is a little dried though. Maybe need to trim it. The strawberries, I've been propagating them. I think they kind of stopped flowering. Just a lot of leaf growth and runner growth. You can see I put some pot filled with vermiculite, and I put the runners into the vermiculite and water it. Some of them has kind of rooted, so that's good. And here's a lot more runners. Oops. Blueberry looks pretty much the same. Let's see. Plain corpse is still flowering. It's gonna end soon, I think. Catnip, it's not really growing for some reason. And then these guys, the wildflowers, the leaves are kind of dried. I don't know why. Maybe it's the heat. But no, it's actually something else. But hopefully they'll recover and we'll see some nice flowers soon. Need to water this guy. That's catnip. And the blueberry is doing well. You can see lots of blueberries to harvest too. All over the plant. The lily of the valley is surely dying back now. You can see that one on the left. It's kind of leaning on its side. Mulberry looks pretty much the same. Don't see any flowers yet. Dahlia needs water, but it's still flowering, so that's nice. Over here we have the asparagus. You can see lots of new leaves coming up from the older branches. Right there, right here, right there. And these two little guys looks pretty much the same. And the rosemary, it's looking fine, but it needs water. And then this succulent, it's looking succulent. This guy is looking succulent too. And this guy is looking good. California poppy is regrowing. Here's some catnips, super random. Artichokes, looking fine. Hydrangea, this guy is recovering really well. Here the peony, obviously need water. Lily is dying back, gonna trim that. Lavender and rosemary. Rosemary is doing surprisingly well. I think I just need to get over the winter. The stone pine is doing well too. Um, Venus flytrap looks pretty much the same. And then finally the grapes. Uh, Nothing too much has changed. Just lots of leaf growth. Not too sure how to take care of it, so it could flower or anything. I'm not sure. But yeah, grape is looking fine. So this is the harvest I did today. You can see lots of tomatoes and blueberries. And as for the indoor garden, the succulents are doing well. Snake plants is getting a lot bigger. There's some baby plants down there from another succulent. And this succulent over here is doing very well. You can see lots of babies coming from the base. And let's go over here and look at the ficus. Ficus is doing well. Leaves are still dropping for some reason, I don't know. And then this orchid is liking this new layer of moss. You can see some new leaves coming up from the base. And then these other orchids are all doing well. My favorite is these lady slipper orchid. They're beautiful. And I'm lucky to have 2 flowers in 1 year. You can see this guy is gonna open pretty soon. The leaves looks healthy, and then this guy is just coming up. Spider plants, I think it's adapting well. The orchid looks fine. These guys are all adapting pretty well to the new condition, so that's good. English ivy too, looking good. There's some new growth over here. Pretty sturdy, so that's a good sign. Here the snake plants is growing, and this guy not too much. Up here we have this philodendron. You can see the vine is getting a lot longer now. And then this spider plant, you can see this huge new green leaves up there. It's looking very healthy, and here's some flowers. Here's more flowers. It's just a bunch of flowers and a lot of baby spider plants coming out from the mother plant. It's looking pretty big. And then this Phalaenopsis looks pretty much the same. The roots are still growing outward, which is pretty interesting. Hoya plant looks pretty much the same. Trying to find some new growth, but it's really hard to find, so yeah. If I find it, I'll show it to you later on. And then the prayer plants, still flowering, lots of new growth. You can see right here, more new leaves. Yeah, and you can see these vines are growing downwards and they're getting a lot longer. And then here we have the Staghorn fern. I wrap it with the plastic thing, so it kind of retains some moisture. But the plant itself is pretty sturdy, so that's a good sign. Here's some more Staghorn fern, another fern. They're all doing really well. Here's some random things, a little bumblebee and a straw flower, more spider plants, and then this guy over here is doing well. Another Staghorn fern I mounted. You can see some darkening on the shield on the wire, and I'm gonna give you a closer look of the new growth on the back. You can see that's where it's growing. It's growing kind of like upward from there. A little dried, so needs to be watered. Right here, this zebra succulent plant is gonna flower pretty soon. You can see the flower spike is coming up. I've never seen a flower from this plant, so I'm kind of excited. This snake plant is still sending out a lot of new baby plants. And then here we have another prayer plant. It's looking nice. And then the dragon tree plant, this one is growing rapidly. You can see that center there's a lot more new leaves, and it's kind of getting taller too.